All right. Click that blue button, everybody. Hadn't said that one in a while. There it is. It's Chris Hurley here. Welcome, everybody. It's the National Real Estate Conversation. And this is your host, Chris Hurley. We're here working each and every day to get your words polished and sharp, ready for the tools of real estate to start your day and get ready for your conversations today or this week. We aim to produce a way that you can practice it here, get some workout with people and fellow brokers, and come back and go into your real estate activities and have an amazing outcome this week. So we've got some good conversations started on the pre-show. So if you haven't come for the pre-show before, Ronnie DiCarlo lined out in Florida how you can use the contract and its terms, conditions, and presentation to really make your offer appear valuable. It is valuable. It's a good offer, but it's also protecting your clients. And that's just knowing the contract phase of our business, that you can craft contracts in your state law, followed by your state law always, that represent the process and your buyer's intent, but doesn't necessarily follow a timeline where everything they present is at risk. So do you know your contracts in a way that writes competitive offers, but still gives your client some protection? So Ronnie talked about that in the pre-show. We like that. And we'll get started with our event today, but we have a special guest. It is her special day. We honor our dear friend Valerie Presley. We will sing her birthday salute, so you can stay at the end so we can do that for her because she's been here since the beginning and she's had her hand up. Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Chris. I definitely want to um, tag on with what Ronnie said about terms, and it's not just price. And so, yeah, I got 50 offers. Ellie said, you underpriced it. Well, did I really? Because it's, I priced it at 200,000 Little Rancher, right? There are no houses anymore in that price range. In my town, Willingboro, where I live,
Bro.
you used to be able to get a nice four-bedroom house for $150,000. Guess what? Everything is now in the threes, fours, and even fives now. And these poor people, I mean, they're just totally priced out of the market. So, yes, I did price it aggressively for where I thought it was going to land and ended up with the winner waiving inspections and dropping their seller concession
Wow.
and putting a $5,000 appraisal waiver in there as well. So when you price something properly, you get to be in the driver's seat as a seller and just sit back and just hey, just throw a few knives out on the floor like the Joker and say, "We're having tryouts." you know, and wait till the dust settles, you know? And so all of this stuff is like from Chris, you and James and all the stuff that we've been learning and early birds, putting it all together is showing us how to do these things and definitely a lot less painful than, just fuddling around, not knowing what you're doing.
How does your seller feel about the outcome, Valerie?
Oh my
Ultimately,
gosh,
that's
they're
it.
ecstatic and I've been keeping them apprised of everything all along the way and saying, and then this is what's going to happen. And it's exactly what happened.
It's a story, but Valerie, if we can, and throughout this next month or so, we might come back and talk about this. This is an anecdote that you can take into your business conversations where you can say your friend Valerie, Valerie, do you give permission for strangers on this call to say they know you? Valerie in New Jersey, you can be her friend. She has a friend who said, when the seller says to you, I'm worried about underpricing the house, can I tell you a story about my friend Valerie? And this might be attractive to you. Would you like to even get more than list price? And then we'll talk about Valerie's circumstance of pricing and offers and the way it resolved itself. And that may be a way that you can narrate what's a potential outcome for your future seller that gets them to loosen up on the pricing conversation. Because I'm
And
sure there's people overpriced and under conditioned house, and that's never what we want. We want this type of situation where buyers are clamoring to get their offer accepted.
the same day I had an open house, it was off the chain, okay? And my colleague around the corner had
Yeah.
zero people at her open house. Yes, a different price range, but once again, that same philosophy still holds. If it's priced well in relation to the other things in that price range, you're going to get activity.
That's it. Know your market, guys. Price these things correctly, and you'll get this outcome. Have good consultations, and then rep the process. Congratulations, Valerie. We'll circle back on that. I'd like to double click on it at some point if you don't mind. Joanna Brown is here. Joanna Brown.
Hey, this is to Valerie. So I'm a firm believer that you can never underprice a home. So Valerie, what was the price you listed it at, and what do you think it should have been at?
Well, I listed it at 200,000.
Uh-huh.
And well, interestingly enough, it's a model house that I thought I knew every house in Willingboro, and I'd never seen it before, and there weren't any exact comps. There were comps for larger ranchers, and so I just sort of, you know, did a guess, and it was dated, older person living there, but very neat and in good condition. So. I guess I could have still had fun at 225, but it was bonkers.
Yeah.
And isn't that what you want it to be
Oh yeah.
bumped so you could
Right.
get right?
We culled the herd and weaned it down to the people over 240.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Thanks.
All right. So, guys, here's our mission today. In a quick moment, I'm going to role model the open house. We're going to finish open house this week with my trainings. And so yesterday we did the promotion because getting turnout is key. You could even call your vendor list, your buyers, your sellers, or friends, or somebody, because no matter what, a body in the open house is better than nobody in the open house. So look at this. How would you invite me, or how would you respond to me if I walk in the door and you need to capture my name and phone number? Let's practice that today. Just the intro. It doesn't need a full scripting thing. Just get to a point where you get somebody to do the sign in, or you use another tactic. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to use, but there's another tactic that you can use to just capture information. That's the mission of the open house, to showcase the home and to capture as much information as we can from the people visiting. That's the mission of this statement. So we'll role model it a couple ways. If you have one that you'd like to do, I will be a buyer for you, and I'll role model mine, and then we'll go to breakout rooms and just work on that sort of open house concept. Just at the open house entry, how do you introduce the concept of give me your information? So Daniel Nichols is here from Ohio. Dan, do you want to go first on the open house?
Yeah, I can go first real quick. Thank you, Chris.
Okay.
Um,
Super. Hey, how
so
you
this
doing?
is just, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
Good, thank you. This goes really well because I just had three open houses this last weekend, and I use our KW website landing page for the open house on my tablet. So, um, I I like to look out the window and see who's coming in, so that way I can open the door for them coming in. So I'll open the door and say, "Hello, welcome to 123 Banana Street. My name is Daniel. I am the showing agent today. Our seller is asking for groups that come in to sign in. So here I will give you the sign in sheet, and I will tell you a little bit more about the home."
Okay, can I give you one objection to that?
Yeah, of course.
You ready? You ready? Ask me to sign in on the sign-in sheet and hand me the tablet.
Okay, here is our sign-in sheet that the
Oh,
seller's asking everyone to sign in.
I don't really want to touch anything.
Oh, no worries. I can do it for you. What is your name?
That's it. That's what you got to get ready for. I want you to introduce that just service to people, right? Because they're going to present us with challenging objections. Don't be shocked if you ever hand somebody a pen or paper and their hands go up like, "Whoa, not touching that." Just be ready to service them, because the mission is to capture the information. Great job, Daniel. That's what we want. Hand them something, and if you give it to them like a sign-in sheet or a tablet, they're naturally in a compliance format. So I love that, Daniel.
Yeah.
Shirley Robinson, what say you? I'm walking into the open house.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for coming to the open house. What's your name?
My name's Chris.
Thank you again, Chris, for stopping in. Take a moment to sign in right here and feel free to take a look around.
Do you really need all my information?
Just your name and number. And I can ask you, since you asked, are you working with a realtor?
No, we're just in the neighborhood visiting some family. Just wanted to take a look.
So just your name and phone number will be sufficient.
Succinct. Do you see how beautiful Shirley's smile is? It's disarming, right? If you're nervous, just smile, everybody. Just be warm and friendly. Your grin is an engagement tool, right? Your frown and your unsteadiness is also a disengagement tool. So be as warm as you can to encourage people to have some rapport with us. LaKayla Abrams, what say you?
Hi, thanks for stopping in. We typically find that two groups of people will stop into an open house. One who lives in the neighborhood and they're kind of curious about the value, or one who's currently in the market looking to buy. Which one would you find yourself in?
She stole my line. That's it, though. Welcome to the open house. Typically, when people come, they're either this or that. LaKayla, I'm a neighbor. I'm not looking to buy or sell.
Okay, how long have you lived in the area?
10 years.
Okay, and what's your name?
My name's Chris.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for stopping in. We love for neighbors to stop in. We can find out a little more about the area and what kind of attracted you to the area. Today, we're having a drawing for the local steakhouse in the area. If the sellers have asked us that each visitors fill out a sign-in sheet, and that will be an entry for the drawing. Would you care to do so?
I love that incentive. Who would not want the steak dinner drawing? I like that.
Yeah, I do too. That's great.
Brenda, you don't qualify. You're a realtor. We don't give it to our other.
We got to
friends.
eat.
So my friends, here's what I want you to practice. There's different ways to come in. LaKayla and I probably would have gone to the conversation about my journey in the neighborhood, where I like to go to eat, where I like to go to shop. That's a good conversation piece with other neighbors, but you always need to know where people live, where their contact information is. Don't be surprised if a neighbor says, I'm already in the neighborhood. The next question you should ask is, which house? Which one is yours? Tell me about that. Is it 4-bedroom or 5? 2-story or 1? Do you have a basement? You put in a swimming pool, have them tell you their story. So the conversations are there, but we've got to have the beginning talk, which welcomes them and gets some invitation going, inviting them to give us the information. So what would you say? It's your chance to practice that. The open house greeting. How do you get the information? And then get it scrolled in and start the relationship. You don't need to go too deep, too many crazy objections. But what we want to do is give everybody a chance to capture some information in the open house. So double thumbs up. The breakout rooms are open. If you click down below, jump in a breakout room, get a round robin, come back on the other side, sing Valerie her birthday song before the top of the hour. Double thumbs up. See you on the other side.
Did you say in the studio good morning to you? Or I love you.
Jack.
But I want to talk about you playing this role because initially you had some hesitation because you don't sing, you say, and you don't
What do
play.
you got? Check your mic. There's a mic. Where's my mic?
Okay, sorry. How do I get into the break-in room? I'm looking at my screen and I'm thinking, how do I go?
And you go on the bottom. Are you on a mobile or a desktop?
On a laptop.
On the bottom right corner, there's 3 dots that say more, M-O-R-E. Click on that, and at the bottom of that menu should be a breakout room, and then you'll see one that pops up. Usually one with 2 or 3 people is a good group. If you have the one that has 20, you're just watching.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You see how I said mobile, Deb? I caught the accent, right? Not a mobile phone over there.
That
still here.
Canadian accent was like, right. I was like, oh, someone's from Canada.
Cell phone.
That mobile takes data or data?
Oh, let's see. Data. It's data.
We're bilingual in Canada. We say both. Data.
Say it all at one time, it sounds like. I can speak 4 languages. Just they're all at once, and it never makes any sense.
Don't you guys say Wi-Fi instead of Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
I remember being at family reunion and the president of Canada kept saying Wi-Fi and everybody was kind of chuckling. And Gary finally said, well, yeah, we say Wi-Fi down here.
He might be from
No,
Quebec.
Canadians say Wi-Fi. Maybe he was French. Was it
That's what I
Gilles?
was saying.
Was it
You
Gilles?
know, it was so long ago. I'm sorry.
It was
And
probably European. The Europeans, it's all about Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Okay.
It
was
could be Gilles. I have a meeting with him today. He's the head of tech for KW Canada.
Yes.
Oh, you
and
got
I'll listen and let you know.
Listen, see if it comes.
it was very charming. It was very charming.
Oh, well, then he must have been French.
Oh yes, they can say the meanest things to us and we still think it's beautiful.
Oh, all right. So in the main room, you can ask anything you want. If I think everybody here is familiar, so you know how this works. But if you're behind the camera and your camera's not on, you're like, what is going on? Main room, you can ask anything you want. Sort of like a free for all. So feel free.
So I've got a call to make this morning. It's a couple that came to an open house, and they've been looking for like almost a year, but did not want to. They didn't put an offer on this house, and they did not want to work with an agent. He works in sales for pharmaceuticals, and he's a young guy, and he knows everything there is to know about sales. So he kept complimenting me on how I was interacting, but saying, we really don't need a realtor. We really want to work on our own. And then yesterday, I just dropped them a note saying, happy Valentine's Day. How's your house search going? And I saw that I had a missed call from him. And then he sent me a text and said, if you have a minute to chat, we would love your thoughts on the current market situation.
Okay. Love it.
Way to go, Deb.
So can I call you, Chris?
So Deb, what's a scenario where realtor, doesn't have to be Deb, like you don't need your own story to be this authentic. It just has to be a familiar story like Valerie's or whatever. What's a story where a realtor in a buyer relationship becomes very valuable? And then uniquely, what can Deb do? What does Deb understand about her skills as realtor that overserve buyers beyond what their imaginations are? That's a conversation to present to them because he's unaware, right? Did you know I could actually, if you knew the neighborhood that you wanted to go, I have the tools to go out and actually find a house in that neighborhood if you're so committed to live in that particular area. Were you aware of that? I've done that for other clients when they said, hey, I really am committed to live on the east side of town in that type of house. I've actually gone out and identified which of those 40 houses would be potential sellers for them. And that way we start ahead of the game before the house is even listed. If you could get that kind of service, does that sound like something that you would find valuable? So like that's a overcome objection pursuit, right? You're painting a picture of something they may not know that we do, and that you do it, and that other people have found success with it. And then circling back with the question, is that valuable to you? Because if they're independent minded, they have to be enticed by something to submit to a process, because independent minded people like untethered exploration.
Arturo probably knows this kind of a client I'm talking about. Young guy who thinks he knows everything, wants to do it on his own.
Yeah, I think like what what I was gonna say, Deb, is that those kind of people think like, yeah, I can find my own house, right? I don't need you to find me a house. I think a good weapon over there is just show them what a contract looks like. Show them an empty contract. Say like, well, this is the contract that you're gonna have to use, and tell them that don't talk about the before or finding the house. What happens after they find the house, right? All the administrative stuff that needs to be done, the contract, the checking in, all the nitty gritty of stuff. I think that could be something where they go like, holy crapola, this might be over my head, even though if I'm in sales, like you're in sales of houses, right? If you're going to go and try to do pharmaceuticals, you don't know how those contracts and how those transactions go. So if you can have help in that kind of field, it will be pretty helpful. So I think like the searching part is where they feel really confident, is the part that comes after that I probably don't think about.
So Deb, tell me about the market. What do you think about the market right now?
Hey, Chris, that's a great question. What have you heard about the market?
You know, we're looking around at houses. We just don't seem to find the ones that we want. Prices
Oh,
seem
so
to be
you've been
going up.
looking around and you haven't found the one you want. Have you put an offer on any?
No, we haven't put any offers in. We haven't really found one that, you know, makes us compelled to do that.
So what would the house need to look like to compel you to make an offer, Chris?
Well, if it looked like 1, 2, 3 identifying points, that's really what we're looking for.
Ah, so if we work together and I found you a house that was 1, 2, 3, are you in a position to put an offer in the next month?
Oh, we are, but you know, like I said, I was just waiting to find it on my own.
Mhm. And how successful have you been in finding it on your own so far?
It's taken longer than we thought.
And what does that mean to you? What would it feel like if it took another year to find the house that you want?
Negative future. I like that. I don't like that.
And what if we could find you the house you want and you could be moved in this summer?
Positive future. That probably is more in alignment with what we're thinking.
So would it be worth 20 minutes of your time to get together, you and your wife, and sit down and look at how we could make that happen?
Yeah, I wouldn't object to that. We're not committing to anything, are we?
We're committing to sit down together and talk and look at options and see if it's a good relationship. If I want to work with you and if you want to work with me. How does that sound?
That's fine. That sounds Why wouldn't you want to work with me?
Well, you know what, Chris, I like to work with people who, okay, let me see. This is a really good
All right, reset it.
this
Think
a-
about it. You're going to get an objection. Why wouldn't you want to work with me?
It's a really good question. You know, have you ever had anybody, Chris, that that you didn't want to work with? That's not a good answer either. Okay, what's a good answer? Barb, you probably have a good answer.
Barb, why wouldn't you want to work with me?
Well, Chris, actually, if I can't service your, well, I don't want to say needs, that doesn't sound right. If I can't provide the service that you need, then I would not want to work with you.
Deb, meeting everybody's expectations is really important. You'd agree? And I
Yes.
really want to have our expectations in our relationship meet both our needs. And if I can't do that, I don't want to let you down as we go through the process. I'd rather let you know right now. You'd agree you wouldn't want to waste time if I couldn't do what you needed me to do, right?
No, absolutely. I wouldn't want to waste your time or my time.
And that goes both ways. And that's all I'm saying. That sometimes if there's not an ability that I have to make your dreams come true, I don't want to, you know, take on that duty and leave you guys disappointed. Make sense?
That's great. I wish I'd recorded that.
It's on YouTube and Facebook.
It is recorded, Deb. That's the nice thing about the after we get live.
Well,
So
the
if you-
nice thing about having Barb Whitney as an accountability partner is she'll leave a breadcrumb trail to help me find that.
Lenich has her hand up. Hey, Lenich.
Hey, so I want your words for this. When Arturo was saying he's the kind of guy who, you know, I'll find the house on my own. I'm thinking, well, you can find it. Can you win it? But that's a little indirect. But that was my thought. Finding it's easy. Winning it and getting it closed, that's where the work comes in. And how do we say that in a way that is smooth and still they don't even know I cut them until they see the blood?
Yeah, repeat, agree, right? So Deb did that naturally. She had an agreement separation tactic. Like that's natural. When you hear the objection, agree with it. Oh, you can find it on your own. Absolutely. You know, I have one question though. What would happen when you get to the next phase, like in the details of the contract? And those details are pretty important, you'd agree, right? Are you using an attorney to write the contract, or do you have another expert to do it? And if you're hiring somebody who's like, you know, a flat fee transactional situation, are they really representing you? Like, do you want representation to safeguard the process, or do you want independence to keep digging around all on your own and hoping to find results? So tell me what happens then. Like once you've got the contract written, because you've done contracts before, what happens when the inspections come up? Have you ever negotiated those kind of trades before? Because you know the seller's not obligated to fix the house. You're aware of that, right? Like this is a buyer beware state, because I know what our state's license is. This is buyer beware. So are you aware? Because the state licensing wants you to beware. And that's why we're licensed and in this process. Would you find it valuable to have a licensee on board giving you advice when you had a question? I could be that licensee.
Way smoother.
May June.
Yes, I want to ask you, if the buyer buy the new construction house, is there a timeline you have to sign the contract? I have a buyer is in New Jersey, and it's multiple offers new construction house, and finally we got the house, but the contract is builder contract is 138 pages. They want to spend 3 or 4 days to read all the detail until they sign it. But the builder listing agent said only 24 hours and void the contract.
Yeah. I understand 3 days is a good amount of time to spend going through it. Let me ask you, what specific questions would cause you the most concern in the contract? Like, what are the details that you're thinking about that you need to dig deeper in?
We just do not have enough time to read 138 pages in one day.
Okay. Is there any confidence I could provide as an experienced professional looking through this contract to tell you what it means?
Yeah, we need to read first and understand so we can ask you some questions. It's just the timeline is so short.
Yeah. And so the risk that we have is the builders is agreeing to your offer, but the one condition that they have is that you have to make a decision in 24 hours. If you had to make a decision in 24 hours, do you think you could make a decision by tomorrow?
It's just so frustrated. I want to know, is the law or is the rule you need to sign the contract within 24 hours, or also you need to deliver the earnest money in 24 hours?
Yeah, if there's timelines, there's timelines involved with all of it, with the receipt of earnest monies, with signing of the contract, and timing is important in real estate. You'd agree?
Yes.
So that's
yes.
The builder is focusing on their timing, and they want to make sure that we follow in an order of the timing that they've sketched out. I understand if it's too much for you right now, and if it would be easier, you can actually keep this contract, read it for 3 days, and we could actually go back and make another offer. But when they send the next contract, you're still going to have to sign it in 24 hours. But at least you'll know what it looks like. You might not get this house, but you could get another one from that builder that they built at a different timeline. Does that sound like a better plan to give you that kind of time and space and not get this house, but get a different one?
Wow, that's really a great idea. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, June.
Yeah.
All right, Ronnie DiCarlo's here. Ronnie, Golden Bumper Sticker Nuggets.
Golden Bumper, just to add, when I bought my townhouse in New Jersey, I had the same thing, 3 days. I threw it right to my attorney. End of story.
Yep.
We're
Let's go get an attorney to review it.
Jersey. Yep. Let them review it.
You could spend $250, have an attorney review it, tell you what it means. That way you'll know in a single day what the contract means. All right, so we're here. Valerie Presley, are you here today? You back? Let's see her here. All right, we're going to sing Valerie her birthday song. We give Golden Bumper Sticker Nuggets. I'm honoring you guys for showing up, and happy to see you guys back on Friday. And
I'm here. Lisa's not here.
Lisa's not here. All right. So what we're going to do once again, the fast version of the happy birthday song. There she is taking a video of herself. There she is. I want to make sure you're still here and get you off the pin so we can see everybody. All right. Very good. So fast version of the happy birthday song for our dear friend Valerie, who turns a big monumental birthday, but I'm not going to out it. but we love her. We honor her.
You already know.
And we are happy that she's in our lives and happy that this is the day of her anniversary of birth. So on the count of three, the fast version of happy birthday, Lisa will break in to close the show. Mark will come in some point at the end. Oh, I'm sorry, not Lisa. Ruth Mahasi will come in to close the show, and then Mark or Aziz will finish us out. So on the count of three, we'll sing to Valerie. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Valerie!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Valerie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
You have received your inspiration. Now go put in the perspiration. Yeah. Have an amazing day, everybody.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Valerie.
Thank you so much. Love this.
Happy birthday, Valerie.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's
Have a
Day.
blessed day, everyone. Happy birthday, Valerie.
Happy birthday.
Hello. Happy
Call me.
anniversary, Aziz.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Happy anniversary, Aziz.
Thank you.
Look at the
Thank you.
romantic
birthday, Valerie.
Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, what a good Louise on Valentine's Day.
Have a
So many
successful
great
day.
things happening today.
Thank you,
Why don't you
Mark.
forget your anniversary if it's on anniversary day? I mean, if it's